Today is Saturday, May 2nd. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we are on Chapter 8, Two Wives. We'll be reading page 108. And out of the 12 and 12, we're on page 130 today. Sorry about the mix-up yesterday. And of course, we'll be reading the 24 Hours a Day and Daily Reflection. So with that, hope y'all are doing well this morning, my friends. It's Saturday morning. I'm up so early. I guess the children's cartoons aren't on yet. It's more like infomercials. Speaking of which, wasn't that the worst? Like when you would wake up and the TV's still going, and you got like this random thing that you've been dreaming about, and you wake up and it's like this infomercial for some exercise equipment or something like, I don't know. I remember those days though. Real quick story, I'll never forget. Flyers are playing the Penguins, and it was a playoff game. It was back in, I think, 99 or 2000 or something like that. And it went in like 4 overtimes. And I remember falling asleep in the first overtime, waking up in the third overtime, and eventually the Flyers would win that game. But I never experienced something like that. You know, stayed up late watching it, fell asleep, woke up, it's still on. But anyway, speaking of the Flyers, so they beat the Islanders last night. So I decided to bring out my Flyers mug, which is in semi-retirement. That's the one I was talking about the other day. It's got a crack in it. And as I'm looking at it right now, the crack is not, I don't see coffee coming up through it. So fingers crossed. Just for a day. We'll try this Flyers mug. But anyway, I am rambling on way over. Let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends. So if you recall from yesterday's reading in Two Wives, we asked a really serious question, like why on earth would he do these things? Knowing that, this alcohol is going to affect not just him, but everybody else around him. Why does he continue to go back to it? Pretty powerful. It says right here, why was it when these dangers were pointed out that they agreed and then they got drunk again immediately? So we are going to talk about that on page 108. These are some of the questions which race through the mind of every woman who has an alcoholic husband. We hope this book has answered some of them. Perhaps your husband has been living in that strange world of alcoholism where everything is distorted and exaggerated. You can see that he really does love you with his better self. Of course, there is such a thing as incompatibility. But in nearly every instance, the alcoholic only seems to be unloving and inconsiderate. It is usually because he is warped and sickened that he says and does these appalling things. Today, most of our men are better husbands and fathers than ever before. Try not to condemn your alcoholic husband no matter what he says or does. He's just another very sick, unreasonable person. Treat him when you can as though he had pneumonia. When he angers you, remember that he's very ill. There is an important exception to the foregoing. We realize that some men are thoroughly bad-intentioned, that no amount of patience will make any difference. An alcoholic of this temperament may be quick to use this chapter as a club over your head. Don't let him get away with it. If you are positive he is one of this type, you may feel you better leave. Is it right to let him ruin your life and the lives of your children? Especially when he has before him a way to stop his drinking and abuse if he really wants to pay the price. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Tradition 1. Our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends upon AA unity. And we left off with another question. How can they possibly place their common welfare first? What in heaven's name holds these groups together? So we're going to answer that question today. Page 130. Those who look closely soon have the key to this strange paradox. The AA member has to conform to the principles of recovery. His life actually depends upon obedience to spiritual principles. If he deviates too far, the penalty is sure and swift. He sickens and dies. At first, he goes along because he must, but later he discovers a way of life he really wants to live. Moreover, he finds he cannot keep this priceless gift unless he gives it away. Neither he nor anybody else can survive unless he carries the AA message. The moment this 12th step work forms a group, another discovery is made: that most individuals cannot recover unless there is a group. Realization dawns that he is but a small part of a great whole, that no personal sacrifice is too great for preservation of the fellowship. He learns that the clamor of desires and ambitions within him must be silenced whenever these things could damage the group. It becomes plain that the group must survive, or the individual will not. So at the outset, how best to live and work together as groups became the prime question. In the world about us, we saw personalities destroying whole peoples. The struggle for wealth, power, and prestige was tearing humanity apart as never before. If strong people were stalemated in the search for peace and harmony, what was to become of our erratic band of alcoholics? As we had once struggled and prayed for individual recovery, just so earnestly did we commence to quest for principles through which AA itself might survive. On anvils of experience, the structure of our society was hammered out. "24 hours a day, May 2nd. AA Thought for the Day. In AA, we often hear the slogan, "Easy does it." Alcoholics always do everything to excess. They drink too much. They worry too much. They have too many resentments. They hurt themselves physically and mentally by too much of everything. So when they come into AA, they have to learn to take it easy. None of us knows how much longer we have to live. It's probable that we wouldn't have lived very long if we had continued to drink the way we used to. By stopping drinking, we have increased our chances of living for a while longer. Have I learned to take it easy? Meditation for the day. You must be before you can do. To accomplish much, be much. In all cases, the doing must be the expression of the being. It is foolish to think that we can accomplish much in personal relationships without first preparing ourselves by being honest, pure, unselfish, and loving. We must choose the good and keep choosing it before we are ready to be used by God to accomplish anything worthwhile. We will not be given the opportunities until we're ready for them. Quiet times of communion with our higher power are good preparation for creative action. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may constantly prepare myself for better things to come. I pray that I may only have opportunities when I am ready for them. Daily Reflection, May 2nd. Lighting the dark past. Cling to the thought that, in God's hands, the dark past is the greatest possession you have, the key to life and happiness for others. With it, you can avert death and misery for them. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 124. No longer is my past an autobiography. It is a reference book to be taken down, opened, and shared. Today, as I report for duty, the most wonderful picture comes through. For though this day be dark, as some days must be, the stars will shine even brighter later. My witness that they do shine will be called for in the very near future. All my past will this day be a part of me, because it is the key, not the lock. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading and some beautiful stuff. Oh, man, especially that last reading, man, that last reading really hits hard. You know, talking about stars, right? And I forget where I heard this quote, but I remember it was something like this, and I'm probably botching it, but it's in the darkest skies that we can see the brightest stars. You know, and what I get from that is that sometimes in our darkest moments, God can use that to be our greatest asset to help somebody else. And I've experienced that to be true. I used to shut down when people would preach to me, right? Or preach at me. Here's what you need to do. You got to do this. You got to do that. However, when somebody would talk to me and say, yeah, man, I wrestle with this and this and this and this, and they were talking about their own experience, when I would listen to them share, and this wasn't even always about alcohol, but anything that they were wrestling with, when they were being truly vulnerable and kind of revealing themselves in a way that took a lot of guts and humility, my attention would then start to peak a little bit and go, wow, okay, well, I kind of wrestle with that. Well, what did you do? You know? When I would hear people share their experience like that, that always seemed to carry a lot more clout for me. And I guess it's attraction rather than promotion, right? I genuinely wanted to see how they overcame that. So, you know, that kind of once again just proves that our past is our greatest asset that we have to help the next suffering alcoholic. It's amazing that a lot of the stuff that the Big Book mentions has turned out to be true. Go figure. At least in my life. But guys, that's all we have time for today. I hope you all have a great one. If you were sober today, I hope you know that you're a miracle and that those who love you are very proud of you. And if you're not sober, I hope you know that you're a miracle as well and that you have great worth and value. I just hope that you would get the help that you need today. And you don't have to do it alone. We're here for you. We want to help you. And as always, guys, please know I don't speak on behalf of AA, NA, Al-Anon, any other sect. I am just a joyful drunk in this lifeboat of recovery. Honored to be here today. And once again, thank you all so much for the little Spotify comments, for the emails, sharing your experience, strength, and hope. If you ever want to share your story, I would be honored to share it anonymously on the podcast. And who knows, speaking of that ripple effect, who knows the impact, who knows where it might reach. It's amazing. It truly is amazing. But my friends, if we're given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.